SYFYWIRE live stage at New York Comic Con. My name is Mike Avila, and I am thrilled to have these two talented gentlemen next to me. The Eisner-winning creative team behind Mr. Miracle, and also Heroes in Crisis, writer Tom King, and artist Mitch Gerads. Welcome, guys.
It is ridiculous that we are here. There are like actual movie stars that we are just nerds. Where we do not belong.
That was pretty awesome to watch that interview.
Right? Yeah, no, cool. Dude, I don't.
But no pressure at all following them up.
I feel like I should apologize to the audience at home. It's about to get a lot nerdier.
No, we will not apologize because you guys are here to talk about an awesome project. Heroes in Crisis is this killer murder mystery that the first issue just debuted for DC Comics. Fascinating stuff with some tragic consequences. Rest in peace, Wally. Rest in peace, Roy.
What about Lagoon Boy? No love for Lagoon Boy? Ah, that's mean.
Sure. Okay, we'll go with Lagoon Boy too. Sorry. Tell me about putting the story together and getting the okay to kill off some iconic figures in the DC lore.
It was one of those where you don't want control of it. So I literally told DC, I was like, I'm doing this thing. It's gonna be super depressing. And they're like, yeah, we've read your stuff before, Tom. We know how this works. And they're like, so I'm gonna put a bunch of guys out, and there's gonna be a lot of deaths. So I was like, can you give me a list of guys who are sort of on it? And they sent me like the list, like this sad list of like, I was like, oh, just reading down, you know, because not everybody we haven't shown everybody. There's like more big reveals. And I was like, oh, my whole childhood. I wouldn't want to be the writer who did this. I was like, oh no.
That's an interesting point. You just kind of skated by. These are not the only deaths that we're going to see in this series.
Yeah, there's a big one, number 2, that comes out pretty soon, and then there's a few more big ones that come out. So yeah, what happened was there's a place full of superheroes, and there was a massacre there, and so there were a lot of superheroes there.
Mitch, are his scripts that you get, you know, and you start drawing from, are they as depressing as the finished product? Like, how sad do you get sitting there at your artboard as you get another script from Tom? Oh, wow, this guy's dead now.
I think Tom and I are so in tune that they're only half as depressing, and then I get it. I get it to that point where you get the full depression.
Yeah, that's right.
No, Tom writes emotions so well, and it's so easy to pick up on that in the scripts.
You're jumping onto the series. I mean, Clayman worked with you on issue 1.
Yeah, Clayman is redefining how comics can be drawn with this series.
And Mitch, you jump on issue 6?
Yeah, 6 or 7, somewhere towards that back part.
Which of the big 3, because, you know, Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, they're the key figures in trying to figure out this murder mystery. Is it Harley? Is it Booster? Who did it? And why? Which one of those characters have you really enjoyed?
Lagoon Boy, he comes back from the dead.
Would you
That's
stop
the big
with Lagoon Boy? Stop it. Stop it. You're not making it happen.
Somewhere home, someone's like, I tune in for Karate Kid, and it's all Lagoon Boy. What is going on?
But like, I'm curious because in Mr. Miracle, you haven't had a chance to draw the big 3 a lot. So I'm curious, is it exciting to dabble in this?
No, I'm super excited. Obviously, I love drawing Batman. I'm going to be drawing another issue of Batman with Tom. But I'm so excited to draw Superman. It's someone I don't really get to draw, and, you know, he's Superman. He's Superman.
Let's talk about that other project of yours, Mr. Miracle. Obviously, all sorts of acclaim. Everybody loves the book. I mean, I just told you backstage, I read the first issue over and over again because if you ever want to get inspired and motivated to create something awesome, you read that first issue because it really launched this awesome story. You're coming up to the final issue, issue 12. It's coming out end of November?
Beginning of November.
The beginning of November. Tell me about how you're looking to conclude the story and what it feels like to put a bow on this series that has kind of been instrumental for both of you guys in your careers.
I feel like I should say that I'm super confident and I can't wait for my art to be out in the world. And but mostly I'm super scared. Like, it's tough when someone's because very wonderfully, people like this comic book, and they tell me they like it, and they say it affects their lives, and I'm like, you haven't read the end yet. What if you hate it, you know?
I'm obviously very biased, but I think we landed it. I'm pretty excited.
Have you turned in the final artwork?
I have. I'm literally finishing it up in my hotel room at this convention.
Really?
Yep.
And you'll be you're taking it back with you, or you're Sending it right to DC.
I'll have to take it home and color it, but I'm finishing up the inks.
I will say this. I think the last line of the book is the best thing I ever written. Just the last page. I think it's sort of my statement on all of my comics in one page. Is the last page of Mr. Miracle.
The end? Is that what it says?
Yeah, no, it's Finn. You know, I went total European. I'm pretty artsy. I don't know if you know that, baby.
Besides being talented comic creators, you guys are also huge comics nerds. I say that with love and respect because I'm a nerd as well. This show, long, great show with tons of stuff. Tell me the dumbest thing you've ever bought at a Comic-Con.
A page of my own art.
What?
It was at a charity auction, and it was not doing so hot. And so I figured, oh, I can get my art back in and donate to charity. So I bought my own art.
Was he too cheap to put a bid in on it?
This is long before I met Tom.
Tom, you're a big art collector as well, and you buy all sorts of stuff. What's the dumbest purchase you've made at a Comic-Con?
When I first started out, I would go to Comic-Cons hand selling my novel, being like, please, 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 you know. And I would go up to artists. I would look at artists, walk artists out. If I see an artist I like, I'd go and talk to them. But I would buy whatever they had just to say thank you for this conversation. And I remember I bought somebody's book, and I brought it home, and I was like, oh, I was trying to talk about it. And my wife is looking through it, and it was a total nudie book. It was all, she's like, why do you have this in our house? We have many children. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, they seem cool. I don't.
Are you guys going to go walk back over there and put in a bid for the Dark Knight Returns #1 cover painting?
I told you behind the scenes, we're all three of us, we're going to pitch
It's bargain prices. It's $1.5 million, right?
Exactly.
You got DC royalties, man. Come on.
I had a bodyguard in San Diego because of stuff. And my bodyguard is now guarding that painting, so not me. So now I know exactly how much my life is worth.
Okay, real quick, we got a couple minutes left. We're going to play a game that we call Roll for Question. You're going to roll the dice, and we're going to ask you a question corresponding to that one and see what ridiculous answers we get.
You work with your hands. I clearly can't do anything.
Two,
way high.
Okay, if you were fighting crime, would you banter with the criminals, or are you more the silent punching type?
Dude, I write a lot of fight scenes, and I cannot understand why anybody talks during a fight. I have never seen this happen. I've never seen anyone, this is my plan, by the way. How are you doing? So I always write these like grunty fight scenes where people are like, because I hate fight scenes that have talking. So I wouldn't talk, because mostly I'd be getting punched in the face, and it's uncomfortable.
Does screaming and crying count as talking?
No, it does not.
Okay, then I would be silent.
Tom, give it a roll.
Oh, I get a roll? All right. Oh, 14, nailed it.
14. If the power of flight existed, how much of a problem do you think bug swallowing would be for you?
I get this question every day of my life, and I struggle with it, you know?
Another question about bug swallowing.
Yeah, I just wake up, and I'm like, oh, what am I going to do about this bug swallowing when I can fly?
Protein is good for you.
Protein.
You just collect it right here? Okay.
That would be great. We should do a book where just Superman shows up, and he's just like covered in bugs on his face. He's like, yeah, usually I didn't have any wipes, so I got to show up to the fight this way. Sorry, I ran out. I don't know.
All right, one more roll. Let's see what else we come up with.
All right.
That scene should make it into one of your comics, by the way. 15. If you were going to wait in line for someone's panel at Comic-Con, who would it be? Whose would it be?
Somebody's panel, like someone I would, dude. If I could,
would you wait in line to get into a panel?
Well, I mean, I waited in line yesterday to meet Larry Hama, the creator of G.I. Joe, dude. Right? My childhood is all G.I. Joe, and that guy's awesome. So yeah, I do Larry Hama for sure. I mean, just yesterday I was in his line. I wanted his signature.
That's a great one.
I got to have dinner with him last night, but I would still wait in line for Frank Miller. It's Frank Miller.
And he's not only is he a genius, but his panels are incredibly entertaining.
Exactly.
As are your panels always. Give it up for Tom King and Mitch Gerads.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Thank you.
That was awesome, guys. Coming up next on the SYFY WIRE live stage, we've got the creators of Jesus Freak, Joe Casey, and Benjamin Mara. And keep following all the fun on hashtag NYCC and hashtag It's a Fan Thing. It's been a long convention.
Jackie Jennings with SYFY WIRE. If you can't get enough of New York Comic Con, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel for news, interviews, cosplay, and so much more. What are you waiting for?